and within a week, the pain was relieved. I'm now taking Relief Factor daily. Well, thank you, David. You know, I've heard your story before. People stopping and then starting again because it works. As you all know, I had trouble with aches and pains, and climbing steps was brutal. Your first step to living the life you love, free from aches and pains, could just be to order the 3-week Quick Start for the highly discounted price of $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Try it for yourself and see what all these people are talking about. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's 800-4RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor.
In Africa, 5-year-old Chiru has no choice. She and millions like her must walk miles every day for dirty water. But together, we can end their walk by providing clean water close by. Instead of spending hours walking to get water that makes them sick, girls can be in a classroom that expands their minds, and moms will gain back time to care for their families. Sons and daughters can grow up strong, finally free of sicknesses caused by dirty water. At World Vision, care about clean water runs deep. Deep enough to reach one new person with clean water every 10 seconds. Because every child, every person, everywhere deserves clean water and the chance to rise to their full potential. It's true. When you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 1069 FM. This is Keeler.
I do believe we're normally cocktailing at this time, and I have a feeling that that's what's going down the hallway. It's the Keeler in the normally morning program. Jeff Manaske, good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, I don't think we've ever.
You already said good morning once this morning.
I know.
Or tonight when I walked in here. So it's a special after hours program that we're in the midst of here this evening, and I'm pretty excited about it. The building is full, and it's a chamber after hours. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Carrie, I'm going to bring you in from the chamber to specifically tell us what we're doing here.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Oh, there we go.
We are.
Okay, go
Good
ahead.
evening, Carrie.
This
Julio,
is the,
good
this
evening.
Is
I don't
the,
need
this
to
is
say
the normal way we start the show. So, good evening, Carrie.
Good evening. Thanks for having me in here.
So you guys do these events about once every month, right?
Yeah, so we host business after hours at a different chamber member's business every month, and it's a really great way to get in and behind the scenes at a different business, see what they do, learn more about them, their employees, show off what you do or what you make, or whatever it is, and build community and network.
So I don't know what we're showing off because we don't do much, but that's what we're showing off here this evening. The building is full, a lot of business people here, and we just thought this was a great opportunity to kick off 2023 and talk about focusing on local businesses.
Yeah, so you say you don't do much, but your mission's actually very similar to the Chamber's mission, which is to keep people connected, involved, and informed.
Well,
Which is what news does, right?
It is. It is. We're going to bring Brian Miller into this just in a second here. But I do have to say we have been in the spotlight this week, for the most part, for pretty good things. Like we had the kid who is formerly from New Hartford, who's now living in Brooklyn. Daryl, who was on the Jimmy Fallon, the Tonight Show. Jimmy
Correct. He
Fallon.
wrote a nice little song about working out
Tonight
in
Show. That was
2024.
my kind of song. I like that. We had the Stephen King thing. Where are we on that? We actually made some contact with Stephen King, and I'll talk about that in a
Yeah,
second.
he formally apologized to the city of Utica. and
I
its
wouldn't call that
residents.
an apology.
Well, you know, may have been fake, but it was on the record.
If you've read it, it's basically, well, you know, maybe I should
Just
have
another city,
Right.
Cleveland, which is here in Utica
maybe
tonight.
I
The
should have-
Cleveland Monsters
should have
visiting us.
should have gone after Cleveland or where else did he say? Somewhere else.
Salt Lake
and then,
City.
And then a little smiley face. I kind of feel like he's thinking we should be pleased with the fact that he chose to reference Utica.
I see what you're saying.
Because
it's the shout out. We get a little attention, whether it's positive or negative.
Good or bad, he spelled it properly, and isn't that the saying, right?
Well, we got a little of a redemption with Al Roker. This evening.
And we'll get to that. But the interesting thing about the Stephen King thing is he does know Utica pretty well. His daughter was a minister down at a church on Clinton Road between New Hartford and Clinton, and was there for quite some time. So, and there's also plenty of rumors that he spent time here and actually did some writing here while she was here. So I think he knows Utica.
Well, Utica's on an upswing.
I
you
believe
know?
so. And then you mentioned Al Roker. Let me play the audio. It is not the greatest audio, but it's pretty good. Here's the audio from Al Roker on the Today Show. Here we go. And, of course, it's not going to play either right now for some reason. But he did a little shout-out to Utica Club, UC.
UC is for me, right?
Yeah. Who knew he was a Utica Club drinker?
Well, he went to school in Oswego.
He did,
So.
yeah. Always promoting Oswego. Brian Miller over there. Good morning. Good evening, Brian.
Good evening. This is a strange time of day to be on the Keeler show, but we're happy to be here with the Chamber.
So talk about, I know the governor did her state of the state yesterday, and not really any reference to here, unfortunately. But is there hope that maybe she's going to start looking to upstate a little bit and remembering where she's from?
Well, I hope so. I hope she takes a good look at where the votes were coming from. They were in the metropolitan areas, and the rest of New York was the other way. So hopefully that sent a message, and it sounds like she's going to, do some things upstate. I'm sure she is. State of the state's just a generalization. What's gonna happen? So let's give her the benefit of the doubt, and let's see where the budget takes us.
She even referenced bail reform.
Yes, she did. But hopefully it gets referenced a little bit harder than it did because.
Well, I want to ask you. You were there, and when she referenced it, what we're getting is that the reaction from many of the downstate Democrats was almost a bit of a murmur. It was not a good reaction. What's your take?
Oh, you're right. That's the way it was.
They don't want her. They don't want it touched.
They don't
because
want it
they don't
touched.
want to admit it. It's bad legislation.
Right.
A bad decision. So I almost feel like there's a pride thing going there, but they don't want her to touch it.
No, they don't. There was quiet on our side, and there was not a lot of strong reaction on their side.
Yeah.
Let's see where it is. Of course, we want full repeal and start it over again.
Right.
Unfortunately, when
Well, that's not probably going to happen, unfortunately.
when it was included in the budget, I guess Republican hands were kept off of it. It wasn't something you guys were able to shape. Do you expect that now, or do you expect the Democrats will come up with whatever solution they can stomach, and you guys are kind of kept out of the
We're
process
all gonna
again.
be optimistic and hope that we can add to it. But I think just our voices being as loud as they have, well, we'll get the DAs and law enforcement involved more this time.
Yeah. That's the big thing. I mean, not as much having politicians involved as and believe me, they were vocal. Sheriff Maciel led quite the contingency of law enforcement officials and district attorneys who were really trying to offer up information, and they just didn't listen.
Well, right here in Central New York, we had some fires happen over the last few weeks, and this was the last one. It could be a direct function of bail reform.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The incident at Word of Life.
Yep.
Which started at Manja Macrina.
It just
and
kind of
then
worked its way all the way over to
Zeb's,
Chadwick's.
yeah.
So.
The rumor is that likes the pizza, misses the cookies, and is really angry over what went on over there. And I don't know. I don't know why else would that happen. But it does look like the same person police believe the same person is involved. So
Could be, and that's just another strong argument for us.
Yeah.
If this happened years ago, the person wouldn't have been out.
well, in this case, it took 3 different alleged arsons, for there to be able to hold him on bail.
Well, he's a convicted felon even before the first arson, so
Right,
that's
and
the
that-
argument.
proof to show.
Right.
That's the argument. It was an hour address, to the legislature. It was good to have everybody back in Albany. I can say that. And then she talked about a lot of things from bail reform to no new state income tax. Well, if you look, there's already been some talk of some user fees on cigarettes, and tobacco products. So is that where they're going to make the money up?
Right. Sin tax.
Yeah,
Well,
syntax.
and the throughway hike. So I guess that's considered in the past. I mean, it'll start in the future, but that's not considered a future. I don't know. I guess a future
Current tax.
dip into your pocket.
Yeah.
I don't know. Left pocket, right pocket. What's the matter?
The other thing that was talked about is gas and the elimination thereof. You won't be cooking with gas. You won't be driving with gas.
You won't be driving
Yeah.
with gas. You won't be heating with gas.
But they are way off. I forgot who we had on this morning who said this is a pipe dream. We just do not have the infrastructure. Even National Grid has come out to say we are not even close to ready by 2035.
Oh, absolutely not. Electrical engineers are saying we're gigawatts or whatever behind. In the infrastructure isn't there, and we just can't be there. We need a diverse energy portfolio. That's what we need, and gas has got to be in the mix.
Not saying that I don't believe you are like anti-electric. I'm assuming.
No, we all.
We're going there.
We're going there.
It's going to happen.
Technology needs to drive this right now.
Yeah.
We can't legislate this to happen. And she talked about affordability here in in New York State. With this climate policy, it's not going to make New York very affordable.
Yeah.
And it's not going to attract businesses here.
But we have businesses here tonight, and
we do.
They're seeing what IBX is all about.
That is Brian's cue to say, "I'm done with you guys. There are cocktails down the hallway. We're going to mingle a little bit and ask Carrie some questions." Carrie Pulio with the chamber. Talk about. You've just become. There was a time, Brian, when you would come in the studio and you'd be a little nervous and you'd be out of sorts a little bit early on. That is gone. I mean, now he's directing the program. So
we've been here 6 years now. And,
you know what you're doing,
and we like getting our message out.
A good thing right there. All right, Brian. Thank you, Brian Miller, Assemblyman Miller. Carrie, talk about some of the business people who are out there today that should be highlighted.
Oh, well, we have all sorts of businesses here today from, our local banks. Bank of Utica's here tonight represented. We've got Standard Insulating here. I saw members come in from. I really should have pulled up the registration list. But all sorts of businesses come to network and, really get to know each other, do business together. people buy from people they trust, right?
Right.
So whether you're the Delta Marriott's here, or GPO Federal Credit Union, it's really making those connections and sharing business with each other.
How are you going to, what do you think of when it comes to the hotels downtown? All of a sudden with Nexus moving in, we're in a position where it's kind of hard to get a hotel in, not just in Utica, but the surrounding areas on any given weekend here.
Yeah, well, people spending their money in Utica is a good thing for business.
Yeah.
Our hotels and restaurants are full. I think people who are here locally and haven't been able to, usually you could walk into a restaurant and just, walk in on a Friday night. Now you got to have a little bit of forethought and make a reservation to your favorite places. But that outside industry investing and outside people coming to our area is a good thing. It's a good problem to have. I think that we're really, truly showcasing what great, wonderful people live in the Mohawk Valley. And we're getting more and more people coming in and staying in our hotels. Clearly, there's a need for them.
I was reading when we were writing a story about Gene Romano, who recently
loss to our community.
passed away. It is a big loss to the community. But I think there's something to learn from Mr. Romano. I was reading the book. There's a book written, and I think you can get that book over at Chenantries at any time. It's always right in the checkout where you can pick it up. And it's a very interesting read. His life is an incredibly interesting read. Very set on, while he was doing business around the world, set on making this Utica and our Utica-Rome region his headquarters and his home.
Right.
And I think that's a great lesson. But when you think of all of the investments that I think he just set a great example, right?
Yeah.
Philanthropy, business, family. He set a great example.
Right. And bringing, keeping the Mohawk Valley prosperous is, kind of part of the Chamber's mission. But also, there's good people here. You use the word philanthropy. And the reason why this area is so special, I mean, if you look at the number of nonprofits that we have, our people help our people day in and day out, whether you're, a business person giving back or just somebody who chooses to volunteer. I think that's what the heart of our community is, and it really sets us apart from different places. You don't feel that in other cities you visit, other communities.
You really, you really don't. Carrie Pulio is with the Chamber. This is our Pro Utica Rome, Pro Greater Mohawk Valley region program. We're on for about an hour here this evening. It is live. One of the things that I believe was in the book that Gene Romano said is that he was carrying on his wife before his wife passed away. She said, I want you to work to bring Utica back to its glory days.
Yeah.
And while he has passed away this weekend, it does seem like that goal and that dream is coming to fruition. There's a lot of really good things happening.
Yeah, there's so much good happening in Utica, and I think it's going to be a pivotal year for us. Just the growth and all the investments that are made downtown. The whole Genesee Street is being revitalized, and the money that's come in from the state and different grants that we've worked hard to get is really going to change that facade. And Utica isn't so down as itself as it used to be about 10 years ago.
You remember the days when you'd say something good and there'd be 10 people saying something bad, and it wasn't people from out of town, it was us.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that that's changed as far as the locals go.
You're right.
Oh, we still get miserable
this
about
is a
things
horrible place. Just ask us.
Yeah, we hate change.
So listen, shop local, invest local, do local business, spend your money locally, support local businesses. That's our message here this evening. We'll break and come back for in just a second. It's an after-hours event here at Town Square Media. All of the radio stations here, speaking of being local, this is a company that is invested locally in live talent, something you don't see in radio studios anymore. But you see it here. It's a pretty cool thing. And you're certainly seeing it here tonight. As you know, it's a big deal to talk us into coming in the evening.
Yeah, you've really opened your doors to the greater community. So thank you. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you as well. It's 5:27 p.m. at WIBX.
David in Pennsylvania writes in to tell us about his experience with Relief Factor. I tried Relief Factor for hip pain and was surprised that it also helped relieve my shoulder and foot discomfort. After taking it for a month, I stopped, and sure enough, the pain returned. So I started taking Relief Factor again, and within a week, the pain was relieved. I'm now taking Relief Factor daily. Well, thank you, David. You know, I've heard your story before. People stopping and then starting again because it works. As you all know, I had trouble with aches and pains, and climbing steps was brutal. Your first step to living the life you love, free from aches and pains, could just be to order the 3-week Quick Start for the highly discounted price of $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Try it for yourself and see what all these people are talking about. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's 800-4-RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor.
Your job was fun? I'm Ron Kraszewski, CEO of Stiefel. And at our firm, it still is fun. Here, you'll find the culture and values of the past, along with the technology and vision of the future. Stiefel is a firm built by advisors for advisors, a place where you can better serve your clients and have some fun again in our business. Visit choosestiefel.com to learn more about the investment firm you've been waiting for.
When it comes to building wealth, knowing where you stand is half the battle. That's why we've created Stiefel Wealth Tracker. Stiefel Wealth Tracker lets you build your personal balance sheet and track your net worth over time. You can securely link your financial accounts using bank-level encryption and even connect with a Stiefel financial advisor if you need professional guidance regarding your situation. Download Stiefel Wealth Tracker on the App Store, Google Play, or by going to stiefel.com/tracker. That's STIFEL.com/tracker.
It's time for Still Alive and Kicking with Clifford Crandall.
Here's a senior activity, building a snowman. This activity has some conditions we cannot control. We need enough snow and semi-warm temperatures, so this activity will make itself available and you have to jump on the opportunity. Tools to consider: plastic pails, small shovel, plus items for the eyes, nose, mouth, plus an old scarf, a hat, etc. Be creative. Food coloring and water will allow you to give depth and color to your creation. Make a good snow sculpture that people stop their cars to see. Don't get concerned if your snowman begins to look like a dragon or a penguin. Simply say, "That's what I wanted." Have fun. Your grandchildren and family will never forget it. When you're done, you should take a picture of your creation. It will not be there to look at in June. For more suggestions, go to stillaliveandkicking.org.
There's a place to share the joy of your team winning it all, and a place to share a laugh about skiing and taking a fall. There's a place to share photos of pets, or singing in the choir, or the time you ate a pepper and your mouth was on fire. But we could all be better at sharing how we're feeling inside. 76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone. Ask about your company's emotional health benefits. Visit heart.org/sharing. Brought to you by the American Heart Association.
Your forecast on WIBX is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life. Winston Churchill's words stirred his country in the face of defeat. Today, they inspire us to reach for our own victories. Commitment. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Cloudy skies remain. We will have snow shower chances through the overnight tonight with a low of 29 degrees. You could see rain and freezing rain and some snow mixing in for your morning commute on Thursday. Rain in the afternoon, a high reaching 39. Your full forecast anytime at WIBX950.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Manaska, you have, we're live, by the way, in the evening hours. It's 5:32 p.m. I'm feeling the same way I felt this morning because, I don't know, around 4 o'clock this afternoon, I'm like, you know what, I need a nap. So now, interestingly, I had to be here at like 5 o'clock. And that's not too out of the realm of what we do already in the morning. So I feel like I just woke up. It's dark out. It looks like this is deja vu for me.
Yeah, no, I know. And I appreciate Stephen Rome has actually been messaging us since we came on the air to include that he's cocktailing for us because we're not on the air. a couple of other things, and then he messaged breaking news: Jeff Beck died. And I don't know if he was pulling my leg.
Steve on our we're also streaming live on YouTube, and Steve C said breaking news: Jeff Beck just died, and that's terrible.
Yeah, a very well-known guitarist. Although this is your. I never know who plays for what band, what members are part of it, what songs they sang. This is kind of like a running joke on the show, but
yeah, it's hard. I'm not a big Jeff Beck fan, and I'm not prepared to pull it up right now. We just found out as we came out of the break, but yeah, that's pretty. You know who you'll hear from on that is Joe Bonamassa. I will tell you a story about Jeff Beck that I think is really quite interesting. Joe Bonamassa is playing guitar. I don't know, 15, and I'm told this is an absolute real story. And if I'm telling a story, it's absolutely real. It's got to be. So here's the story. Joe Bonamassa is in London, and he's performing, and he is shredding it on the guitar. And he goes to he's almost done, and Clapton is there, and there are others there, and these are the legends of rock and roll. And Joe Bonamassa from Utica is certainly a part of that. And Jeff Beck, it was said that Jeff Beck didn't want to go back out and have to follow Joe Bonamassa.
You're kidding me.
And Jeff Beck is one of the greatest guitar players in the world. But doesn't that say something about Joe Bonamassa?
That is incredible.
And I haven't even had a chance to check Joe's feed, but that'd be something for you to look for. Is Joe Bonamassa is pretty active on Twitter, and if you check his feed, I'm sure he has something very personal to say about that. Courtney of GPO Federal Credit Union is in right now. Hello.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I know you are traumatized by the Jeff Beck news.
Yeah, I mean, very devastating.
You did start off by saying, who's Jeff Beck? Did you say that?
Well, which Jeff Beck?
That's a good
there's
point.
A couple, so.
I think that's what I said to you. I'm like, which Jeff Beck is messaging us?
Yes.
So that's very, very sad. Courtney, thanks for coming in. You're like, they all talk about you around here, so that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
So talk about, if you could, from your perspective, from GPO, the region, the Mohawk Valley, Utica, Rome, how it seems like this feels a little different. If you followed the rebounds that we have believed that we've been in the midst of over the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, this one feels different.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're on the cusp of revitalizing some areas. I think we're also trying to bring a lot of entertainment and newness to our areas, but I think that, keeping true to who we are as a local, core values is really important. I think that, we have great things here beyond food, and we really need to highlight and emphasize those.
It is, for a while, that's kind of what we had, right? We
had
food.
Just food.
We are known for chicken riggies and turkey joints and tomato pie and that sort of thing, but it's beyond that today.
Yeah, today I think we've grown to beyond the map as an entertainment, area as well, which is great. We don't have to leave anymore to do things except for shop.
And so there's some work to do.
There's some work to do at the mall, but
although I don't know, I see that Amazon truck flying down my street.
That's unfortunate.
4 or 5 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they're laying off people. I don't understand that. As a federal credit union, I was just going to call you a bank, and I shouldn't do that. Explain why I shouldn't do that.
As a federal credit union, we do have some tax lenience. We are non-for-profit. Any income that we do receive goes back to our members, and that's why our rates are really low. Our savings rates are pretty high, so it's just a turn profit going back to our members. So things are more affordable, and lifestyle can be a little bit more financially handled.
I also think that, we're looking at, with the raising of interest rates. Interest rates have gone up. But if it might have been a news story. We were talking to somebody who said, stop looking at it from the last few years.
Absolutely.
Look at it from the fact that in the 70s they were spending 18% to be able to get a home loan.
Yeah.
We're still in very good shape.
Yeah, I just had this conversation with my mother-in-law who is in her 70s, and she laughs because I'm like, oh my gosh, mortgage rates are 7%. She goes, my first house was 14%. And we were very spoiled. My mortgage is 3%. I mean, I am very spoiled and fortunate. Car loans are getting to that. So we had a discussion as a group that loan rates used to be based on prime. You know, your car loan was prime plus, your car loan was prime minus. So the fact that we're still hovering around that, we are fortunate. And, you know, the buyer's market today is people are very emotional with their buying. So if they want it, they're going to buy it no matter what the rate.
Yeah, I think they, some people are emotional.
Mm-hmm.
My wife is like a rock. Me, it's like, oh my God, I'm like just looking at the little lights. Bingo, let's buy that. But you're right. I think that that's society today.
Yep.
If you want it, you figure out a way to get it. So.
Click of a button.
All right. Anything you want to talk about? And more, you want to talk about a GPO?
I wanted to thank you guys. We're here for Town Square Media's Business After Hours with the Greater Utica Chamber. And I love coming to the studio. I've recorded here a couple times for GPO. You know, we do a lot of business with Town Square. And just wanted to thank you guys for being just a great local connection. You know, we've worked with you for over 4 or 5 years now for many things, radio specifically for over 10 years and digital recently, and you've really elevated our marketing.
Nice.
Not going to give away all the secrets on
Don't
there.
give them away. No.
But really,
Amanda says she's the secret.
Yeah. Shout out to Amanda Medor, my rep, and she's been great. All of you guys have been great, so thank you.
One thing that if you're not paying attention, you get a host of radio stations and a tremendous digital. There's really no one that can do the digital, the digital reach that Town Square can do. It's really incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And from IBX News Talk to Light to the Eagle to WOUR. Did I get everybody?
And Frog.
And the Frog, of course. How do you forget the giant down the hallway? All live. It's really kind of, I have to say, working in other places around the Northeast through my career, I've never walked into a building in the morning and seen like 4 or 5 radio studios going live all at the same time.
Yep.
It's a pretty cool feel. So, all right, thank you.
Thank
Courtney.
you. Have a great night, guys.
You do the same and enjoy the wine. I'm hearing it's really good down the hallway.
Of course it is.
I don't think they bought for us. They always get the cheap stuff, but I think they actually sprung. They sprung for this party.
I think they did. It was bottled this time.
I think it was. We've actually there's a bucket. There's a giant pool in the back, and we've been squishing the grapes, making the wine. Quick break. We'll come back.
Where's our man Smitty? How did he get off the hook today?
It is 5:40 p.m. Our chamber after hours. It's our chance to talk pro Mohawk Valley and think about investing in. You know, when you have that chance to go to that, and I understand the chamber supports all restaurants, whether you're a chain or you're a local restaurant. But you know what I like to think is if you can spend your money at a place that is local, that's incredibly important. That money stays all local. That money stays local. Your commissions stay local. The pay stays local. The investment into the owners stays local. It's so important to have those locally owned and operated businesses. 5:41 p.m. at WIBX.
First News with Keeler in the morning.
You know, it's everything I need in the morning.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
You know, tragically, last year had a record number of school shooting victims. Now, in active shooter incidents, schools go on lockdown, and locked doors impede law enforcement's access. Now, with Knox, both school officials and law enforcement have access to key cards, keys, floor plans, and getting them into those locked doors. Get Knox. Just go to schoolentry.com. That's their website, schoolentry.com. Schoolentry.com.
Did you know 1 in 4 vet visits involve skin and coat issues? And 70% of your pet's immune system is based in their gut? Dinovite nutritional supplement has key nutrients for your pet's digestive tract, skin and coat, and immune system for an all-around healthier pet. Get a free probiotics booster with your purchase of Dinovite for dogs by using code DOG at dinovite.com.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
Hi, This is Morgan Freeman. Has anyone ever said, you're the picture of health? You look healthy, you feel fine, but that may not be the full picture. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cancer killer of men and women over 50. Since it doesn't always cause symptoms, you may not know you have it. The only way to know is by getting screened. Screening can find precancerous polyps, so they can be removed before they turn into cancer. This is one cancer you can prevent. Plus, screening can find colorectal cancer at an early stage when the chance for a full recovery is very high. Talk with your doctor and get tested for colorectal cancer. Medicare and many insurance plans help pay for screening. Get screened. Make sure you are the picture of health.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you that money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types qualify, including those who took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help your business too. Just go to GetRefunds.com and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
So I want to, just if we could, it is 5:44 p.m. We, Jeff and I, doing a little Keeler in the morning in the afternoon. And there is an after-hours event going on here, and they asked us to do an hour live. I immediately said, how much did we make? I didn't say that. But it is cool to... Okay, so I did. Still, what are you going to do? So it is, listen, it's kind of cool to be with all of these people who are coming through the building and use the radio stations and our digital and all of that to do their marketing and also for their entertainment. That's what it's all about. First of all, I don't know if I'm more shocked that Jeff Beck has died or if I'm more shocked that he was 78 years old. And that's pretty incredible, but it all makes sense, right? Jeff Beck, I'll just give you a little bit of what is being talked about here this evening as this story has just broken. The cause was bacterial meningitis, according to his publicist. During the 60s and 70s, as either a member of the Yardbirds or the leader of his own band, the Jeff Beck Band, Beck brought a sense of adventure to his playing that helped make the recordings by those groups groundbreaking. In 65, when Beck joined the Yardbirds to replace another guitar hero, he replaced Eric Clapton. The group was already one of the defining acts in Britain's growing electric blues movement, but his stinging licks and darting leads on songs like Shapes of Things and Over, Under, Sideways, Down added an expansive element to the music that helped signal the emerging psychedelic rock revolution. And, of course, 3 years later, he formed his own band, the Jeff Beck Group. Really one of the greatest guitar players that the world has ever known, has passed away at the age of 78. Wow.
Another quick message here. This one from Bernie. This morning, you guys were talking about the passing of someone named Tom. And
Tom from Little Falls.
Yeah, Tom Malley from Little Falls, who we learned passed away this morning. So,
Tom was somebody when I started out in my career, when I was a junior in high school.
You interned for him, didn't you?
That's what he says. I don't remember it that way, but that's the way he always told it. But, we were doing a high school. My first gig was doing a high school football game, and I was the statistician for that, and Tom was calling play-by-play. So, and I know what he probably felt like. Here's this young guy coming in trying to take my job away. And 2 weeks later, I was doing play-by-play.
Right.
So as bad as that was in the day, but very sad. Tom is, inputted a lot here over the years. Loved WIBX. Loved Varick Street. Loved his Irish heritage, and was able to read Gaelic and tell so many stories about Irish heritage. It was really something to listen to.
So because we haven't had her in studio for so long, we figured we'd have Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw on twice
didn't we
today.
just
live.
have you in here, Marianne?
I got excited. I was like, wow. And then I see a coffee cup. I'm not sure what's in it, Jeff, but is it coffee or
Yes, it
something
is.
else?
Yes, it's coffee
So-
actually still left from that I didn't finish this morning. So and we also have Pam Musty in from Now It's Standard.
Yes.
How
Hi,
you doing?
guys. Good. Thank you.
That's so good to see you. We worked together briefly.
Yes, we did.
And then, of course, we were at the American Heart Association together as well.
Yes,
But now
yeah.
you're a neighbor just down the road.
I am. Standard heating, cooling, and insulating. Very happy to be there.
What time do you get in? I'm wondering if I pass you on the way in or on the way out. I'm usually out. You don't have to tell us what time you get in.
Well, I mean, I guess
You're
it
not
depends on
coming
the
in-
day.
You're not coming in when I'm coming in.
No,
in the
definitely
morning.
not
All right.
when you're coming in. Nope. Office is open at 8 a.m.
We'll talk about Standard.
Sure.
And
you
the
guys,
rebrand. I mean,
you guys have done some expansion here.
We've done some serious expanding. Over the last year, we've expanded down into the Capital District. So we're offering just about everything that we offer here in the Mohawk Valley down in the Capital District and through that area. So our territory covers pretty much the entire middle portion of New York State. And, we are one of the top, if not the top, contractor that works with New York State in the Empower programs. So it is our goal to get people energy upgrades for free. And we have a amazing group of customer advocates and program advocates that help our customers do that. So people don't need to be afraid of how to apply or where do I get this information. We walk you through the whole process. We really act like a concierge through that process, and we're happy to do it.
It does seem that you guys are, Marianne, we were talking about all of what the governor is really pushing right
the
now.
clean heat, yeah.
Clean heat. And, it all starts with insulation.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it making sure that your home is up to a standard, and no pun intended. But when you think about it, really,
I'll take it.
So, and the fact is that you could go back 25 years, and the houses aren't even close to insulated the way our homes are today, or
absolutely.
could be today.
Absolutely. And there's so many different types of insulation. So, part of what we pride ourselves on is that we come in, we have our auditors come in, we do a free energy audit on your home. And from there, we are really able to tell you exactly what you need that is going to maximize your energy usage and save you the most money, and also be effective for the environment as well.
We're in a new home. I mean, it's not a new home, but it's built in the 90s. And I have to tell you a funny story. Absolute true story. It just happened about 3 weeks ago. During the holiday, I was on vacation. My wife and I had a moment. It doesn't happen often. But we sat in the parlor, which is by our window. And we have more than one window, but the window. Just letting you know. It's our only window.
They have coffee by the one window.
We finally sat down. We lit a candle in front of the only window in the home.
She got to sit in the chair.
But that's right. Well, it's actually a box, but still, it's made out of wood.
It's wonderful. Wonderfully
so
comfy.
we had a pillow, and it's just completely comfortable. But we're sitting there in our parlor, and we're by the window, and my wife is like, I got to tell you, we got to do something. We just had these new windows put in. Another chamber member, New York Sash, just had these windows in, and I'm telling you, there's a draft here. And I'm sitting there, and there was. So even the new windows, because of the poor insulation in the house, there's a draft blowing in, and you could feel it. And then I looked up, and the window was open.
The window.
I'm like,
The one window was open.
The one window was open. And I'm like, no wonder there's a draft. The God-blessed window's open. So anyway, that was my story.
I mean, that's an amazing story.
It is, but I still think we need insulation, just for the record.
Well, sure, and we can come out and let you know exactly what you need.
All right.
The governor did talk about insulation funding also. So.
Well, it's I think that it's one of the ways that you can make your home more efficient, right?
But this evening it's wonderful that WIBX and Town Square Media opened up your wonderful place of business to so many folks. I know you haven't been able to leave, but
Right,
there's a lot of great friends out in your lobby saying
Nice.
hello this evening. So thanks for doing that.
And I can say firsthand, I know you are at a lot of events like this. Most of your evenings, you're running around all over the place. This is one of the many stops you'll make this week, this month, to get to know local businesses and the people behind them.
Yes, and it really is. But it doesn't work without someone saying, sure, I'll host. So back at you, Jeff, to say thanks. And I will not let anyone know what's in that coffee mug.
Yeah,
I won't have it tested.
Unfortunately, it's mold. But, it's okay. It's all right. It'll kill you.
I want to know what's in your coffee cup. You're doing very well tonight.
Well, I just woke up, so I took a little afternoon nap. One thing is true, though, in this building, if you walk around this building, beware, you can get lost in here. It is an enormous building.
It is.
With many, when I first started working here, which is 10 years ago now, actually 10 years ago this month, and maybe even today, being the 11th, I think I started on January 13th, something like that, back 10 years ago. But just learning how to get back from the bathroom to the studio was an adventure here. So beware out there. You could get lost.
Well, maybe we'll drop off a certificate on the 13th for you.
All right. That would be very
10-year
nice.
anniversary.
10 years.
There you go.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't think I'd last a year. At least Manaski did.
Neither did I. I really
It's
did.
exactly true.
Cost me some money.
All right, guys. Thank you. We're going to
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Quick
Yeah.
break and wrap up our quick hour. There's news coming up top of the hour. Stand by. It is 5:53 in the evening at WIBX.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you that money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types qualify, including those who took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help your business too. Just go to GetRefunds.com and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
David in Pennsylvania writes in to tell us about his experience with Relief Factor. I tried Relief Factor for hip pain and was surprised that it also helped relieve my shoulder and foot discomfort. After taking it for a month, I stopped. And sure enough, the pain returned. So I started taking Relief Factor again, and within a week, the pain was relieved. I'm now taking Relief Factor daily. Well, thank you, David. I've heard your story before. People stopping and then starting again because it works. As you all know, I had trouble with aches and pains, and climbing steps was brutal. Your first step to living the life you love, free from aches and pains, could just be to order the 3-week Quick Start for the highly discounted price of $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Try it for yourself and see what all these people are talking about. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's 800-4RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor.
Your job was fun. I'm Ron Kraszewski, CEO of Stiefel. And at our firm, it still is fun. Here, you'll find the culture and values of the past, along with the technology and vision of the future. Stiefel is a firm built by advisors for advisors, a place where you can better serve your clients and have some fun again in our business. Visit ChooseStiefel.com to learn more about the investment firm you've been waiting for.
When it comes to building wealth, knowing where you stand is half the battle. That's why we've created Stiefel Wealth Tracker. Stiefel Wealth Tracker lets you build your personal balance sheet and track your net worth over time. You can securely link your financial accounts using bank-level encryption and even connect with a Stiefel financial advisor if you need professional guidance regarding your situation. Download Stiefel Wealth Tracker on the App Store, Google Play, or by going to stiefel.com/tracker. That's STIFEL.com/tracker.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
a little Jeff Beck right here from 1968. Yeah, it was announced just a little while ago that Jeff Beck, at the age of 78, has passed away. We're about 3 more minutes, and we have news top of the hour coming up. We spent an hour here talking about being pro-business, pro-local business, and we hope that you follow suit with that. The Chamber, there's a whole bunch of people in this building. It's packed.
It is jam-packed.
Tomorrow morning, we'll be back on at 5 a.m. and then live at 6.
We get to start an hour later tomorrow.
I don't think we get
tonight?
that.
No?
But one of the things we will be talking about is this Buffalo Bills story.
You know, it's amazing. It's a wonderful thing. Please don't misconstrue my comments in anything other than supportive, and I think it's amazing, and I hope he continues to recover. I just don't understand how there hasn't been a discussion, at least not publicly, and I know some of this has to do with, privacy. But do you think they know what happened to Damar Hamlin?
I don't think so.
That's amazing to me.
I mean, I think they can theorize. The Bills, I haven't read the Bills press conference today, details from it, but they did hold a very extensive press conference today and talk about Hamlin and his recovery and the fact that he is now going to be recovering from home and with the Buffalo Bills. So he will be doing rehab with the Buffalo Bills. The other thing the Bills announced, which I think is a positive, is even though he's basically not able to play going forward, he is getting his full salary.
That's very cool. That's great that they did that. There was a story, I can't remember which team it was, but something similar had happened where he became injured and the team decided to pay him and continue paying him because of that. Yeah, that's a great thing. Look, that is a great thing that he's got that financial stability. I know everybody stepped forward and donated to his charity and everything, but that's a very classy move by the Bills.
Listen, we're going to join the get-together, the gathering here at Town Square Media.
I need to refreshen this cup of coffee here.
Whole bunch of business people out there. Tomorrow morning, you can check out, too, our free money question of the day from the Hobica Law Firm. A chance to win $100. We do that in the morning at 7:35 every morning, and we're live tomorrow at 6. News is straight ahead. WIBX Utica Rome. It's 6 p.m.
A second batch. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. More classified documents connected to President Biden have been located.
All that we know is that a second batch was found. We don't know when, we don't know where, we don't know by who yet.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House is coming days after papers were found in a locked closet in the president's former Washington office. Yesterday, President Biden said he was surprised to learn that they were there. Thousands of residual delays across the country, hours after flights across the country were not allowed to depart after a government system that offers safety and other information to pilots broke down.
The FAA issued a full ground stop for the first time since 9/11. Its notice-to-air mission system, which alerts pilots to safety issues and hazards, was down. Transportation Secretary